If you've ever met someone who seems to think they're the center of the universe, you might think that they may be exhibiting signs of narcissism. But did you know there are 4 distinct types? And in this video, we'll dive deep into identifying each one of them. This way, you can understand the differences between each type and know how to deal with those people better. After all, that is easier said than done. But before we get to it, there's an interesting fact we want to share. Statistics consistently show that narcissism is way more common in men, and socialization plays a big role in this. See, from a young age, boys aren't usually encouraged to talk about or understand their emotions as much as girls are, right? And traits like compassion and empathy, not to mention vulnerability, often get looked down on in boys, and even more so in men. But if you think about it, these qualities are often the core of a strong character. We often tell boys to brush off their feelings and toughen up, but this focus on being tough can sometimes make them less empathetic. Worse, it can lead them to develop narcissistic traits. Also, men are often judged by their achievements like making a lot of money, having fancy job titles, and owning big houses. But these things, which society especially values in men, can be pretty superficial, and their pursuit of these things can make them more prone to narcissism. So now let's delve into the 4 types of narcissism. Number 1, covert narcissism. You know how covert means secret, right? So a covert narcissist is someone who seems weighed down by the world but still thinks they're pretty amazing. And they'll subtly tell everyone just that. They often feel like life has been unfair to them, which is why you'll notice them having a passive-aggressive attitude. These are the people who'll say stuff like, you know, I take awesome photos, but no one ever really noticed. I guess I'm just ahead of my time. Even with today's cameras that make taking photos easier, I don't need all that to be one of the greats. This form of narcissism often takes time before it gets noticed. When people finally recognize it, it's as if a light bulb goes off in their heads, and they think, now it all makes sense. They're the type who always seems to be on the verge of depression. At first, people might think a covert narcissist is just dealing with depression, so they'll be provided with the usual treatment. But after a while, they'll notice that, even with months of treatment and medication, there's no real improvement with that person. Why is that? Well, someone diagnosed as a covert narcissist who's treated for depression won't show significant progress. Sure, their depressive symptoms might lessen a bit, but they'll still be full of self-pity, wondering why no one sees how amazing they think they are. Plus, they're super sensitive to criticism. If someone says, yeah, your pictures are good, but they don't fit our gallery so we can't display them, they'll take it badly. They might give you the cold shoulder, throw a tantrum, or just pull away. A covert narcissist genuinely believes the world just doesn't see how great they are. It's as if they constantly think, nobody gets how amazing I am. That said, one key trait of covert narcissism is always feeling like a victim. They act as if no one appreciates their brilliance, and they express a subtle arrogance because of it. Plus, they often avoid taking responsibility. They keep blaming the world for their lack of success, and never reflect to find out if they have any shortcomings. To them, it's always external factors that are to blame for their failures. Number 2, grandiose narcissist. When we talk about narcissism, we usually mean the grandiose kind. You know, those people who are super egotistical and always looking for attention and validation. They're the type of narcissist who will say something like, hey, look at me! Aren't I amazing? Check out my fancy car and beautiful house. They have an inflated sense of self-importance, and they'll do whatever it takes to get others to see them that way too. They crave validation and will often go to great lengths to be admired. Don't be surprised when they even exaggerate their achievements and talents just to impress others. Think about celebrities whom you know love being in the spotlight and receiving praise from their fans. Those who will cause all kinds of scandals just to remain in the headlines every single day. That's a classic example of a grandiose narcissist. And while it may seem like these people have high self-esteem, it's actually quite fragile. Deep down, they feel insecure and constantly need reassurance from others that they're as amazing as they think they are. Also, they tend to dominate conversations. They rarely listen to anyone else because they feel like others don't have something good to contribute to the conversation anyway. Even worse, they'll make them feel that those people are beneath them. No matter how much they try to appear impressive, this air of superiority makes it difficult for a grandiose narcissist to connect with others. By the way, make sure to subscribe if you've learned something new today. Number 3, communal narcissist. We've always been told to do good deeds quietly, right? But a communal narcissist would totally disagree with that idea. This type of narcissist is always posting on social media about their charitable activities, like feeding the homeless or joining rescue missions. Their good deeds seem almost staged because everything looks so perfectly organized. Well, they do it that way on purpose because they're really after recognition. They attend galas and benefits, donating lots of money, but they always need a pat on the back for their efforts, usually in public. They want events or projects named after them and constantly highlight all the good things they do. They're the kind of people who fill their website with photos of themselves carrying kids from poor regions around the world. Also, a communal narcissist loves to dress to impress and will constantly highlight their achievements. It's like they're saying, "Look at me. Check out my greatness and generosity. I'm all about giving back." But here's the kicker. They often lack empathy for the very people they claim to help. Instead, they just crave recognition and validation for their deeds, which is why you'll see them act like they're way above those they appear to help. A communal narcissist never does good out of the kindness of their heart. It's all about gaining admiration from others. Number 4, malignant narcissist. This type of narcissism is super dangerous because it combines traits from all 3 types we've talked about. But there's a big difference here. The malignant narcissists are willing to be really manipulative to get what they want, even to the point of being cruel to someone else. What really makes them scary is that they have zero empathy or remorse. Sure, they might feel a bit guilty if their target is a loved one, but that guilt quickly gets buried under the rush they feel after manipulating them and getting what they want. Malignant narcissists often ignore the harm they cause to others while chasing personal gain. In fact, you'll notice that they really don't care about the consequences. They might also come off as arrogant and entitled, thinking they're superior and deserve special treatment. What's more, they can easily manipulate others to get what they want using emotional blackmail, gaslighting, and other deceitful tactics. Basically, if they want something, they have no problem committing terrible acts, like embezzling from a company, cheating on a partner, or scamming people just to get it. With their huge ego and thinking they're above the rules, and even acting on those beliefs, malignant narcissists can seem a bit psychopathic. In extreme cases, this type of narcissist might even get violent if their ego is threatened. And if you liked this video, then check out these related videos to see more. And make sure to like this video to let the algorithm know you'd like to see more videos like these.